and welcome to the Holy Hour podcast. It's the bi-weekly All Cure podcast. I'm Gavin, and happy to welcome back to the show, Kate. How's it going, Kate? Yeah. We are proud to finally get this episode out to you guys. We've been talking about this one for a long time. It's come up in various mentions of past episodes, but Kate's the person to talk to here with my love of puppets and Muppets and all things puppetry.
Yeah, and toys too.
Toys, yeah. So we're gonna have a good old Cure-related puppet talk, and amongst other topics that are floating around out there in the Cure world. So welcome to the show. I do love the idea of us trying, even the effort of doing a puppet-related puppets on podcast is not an easy topic.
No, it's not. No.
Radio puppetry never really took off the way I thought it would, you know?
Yeah. Well, the voices, we do the voices well enough.
True. And, you know, it's a little tougher when you know that we're here and then the voices come out and then be like, well, who could that be? We got a friend.
Hey. Well, that's like the original TV or radio station, like the radio shows that our parents or grandparents listen to.
So true. So we'll just have to play it up if we get into the actual puppetry. Let the theatrics begin. So
yes. And now, because I knocked on my table, my dog is barking downstairs because she thinks that somebody knocked on the door.
My cats always decide that they're gonna pig out on their dry food right whenever I hit record. So you might hear some in the background too. So it'll just add for the Muppety vibe or something, I guess. But and even unintentionally, it turns out this is Jim Henson's birthday today. So I would love to say I was organized enough to plan this, but it was just a nice surprise when I was like, oh, holy shit, yeah, it's Jim Henson's birthday. Yeah. So it's meant to be, as you said.
It was meant to be. He needed this to happen.
Yeah, I think it's a good time in the world. Definitely could use a good dose of Jim Henson again, some form or another. True. And we'll get into it. There might be. So there's some good stuff on the horizon. But for our Cure fans and listeners out there, we should mention last episode that at the time of doing this one hasn't even come out yet, but there has been relevant Cure news. We've awoken the sleeping giants of the Cure, and we have heard some updates, and we have the one festival that had been announced in last episode in France. And just the other day, we got festival number 2 now, Nova Rock, which is going to be in Austria. And that one's going to be in June 12th on a Friday. And that's part of a 4-day festival. It goes from Thursday through Sunday, and the Cure will be playing on the Friday, so the second night. But we all know it's technically the headliner, you know.
Of course. Let's not kid anyone.
As far as my personal taste, that's definitely not the one I'm going to fly to Europe for. As far as the other bands on did you see them on there?
No, I wasn't paying attention because I was prepping for this other thing that I've been doing. So I didn't even know about the Nova Rocks.
Yeah, so that one got announced. And then by the time this comes out, this will be coming out on October 12th. So we'll probably have at least 3 more, probably. I'm assuming they're going to start popping up here. There's going to be at least a few more. So apologies in advance if there are already 3 more different ones popping up. But this one was weird because it's Offspring and Perfect Circle are going on like before the Cure, pretty much. Like Lady
Offspring. Oh my God.
Which is funny because one of the very few kind of festivals I have gone to, it almost doesn't feel like a festival in the grand scheme of how big these things have gotten, you know, but like I went to one of those HF festivals and it was at RFK Stadium, just a 1-day deal, but it was the Offspring was the band that went on right before the Cure when I saw them, and it was a total nightmare because it was all these meatheads just beating the shit out of each other, and we lost half of our friend group. We're even like, fuck this, we're moving back, you know, out of the mosh pit because we were trying to get in there to get a good spot for the Cure. And yeah, I mean, the mosh pit was the least of it. Just sitting through the Offspring was torturous enough. I would have rather just gotten kicked
actually
in the
sounds
head.
like a Muppet. That guy sounds like a Muppet.
Yeah, totally. So we got Offspring, a whole bunch of bands. Iron Maiden's actually headlining one of the other days, so Simon will be happy.
Yeah,
That's
very,
probably
very
the whole
psyched.
reason why they're doing it.
Maybe he wants to do a cameo. Robert Spoon doing these little cameos. Maybe he's like, it's my time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go jam with Iron Maiden.
That would be so cool.
That would be pretty rad if they just like bring it out. They all do like a Spinal Tap where they all play bass or something.
Oh my God. Do it, Simon, do it.
And Papa Roach is on the bill too. So Papa Roach in there, all my favorites. So as much as I would love to go to Austria, I don't think that would be the one I'm headed to. So the Rockin' Sen one is, I don't think they've announced the other bands on that one, but it's already sold out. I think the single day anyway, it said it was sold out in some version. So yeah, pretty crazy. Are you going to either of those by any chance?
I have not planned to. No, I have not purchased anything. My one and only festival experience was the Pasadena Daydream Festival.
Right on.
And it was hot. It was hot.
Yeah.
It was hot. I have
real hot.
I get really, really like lightheaded with the heat. But I had like the VIP. Were you there?
Not that one.
Okay. I splurged for like the VIP section mainly because it had air conditioned bathrooms.
Yeah.
Which, gave you a few seconds. But there also was like an air conditioned building where you could get like a soda or something. Or no, that was the thing. They didn't even have freaking soda. You could not get a soda. You could only get like power muscle drinks or beer. And like that was it. Just want a Coca-Cola with like a lack of ice. Couldn't get any ice. No ice. No ice.
No ice. They didn't learn nothing from Woodstock 99 where they didn't. Everybody's knocking over the. We want water. Were they all right with water at least, or could you get water?
Yeah, there were water stations. Good. Yeah, you could bring a bottle in, I think, and there were water stations. But it was like it was like coming out of a contained thing. Like they made it look like a fancy tap, but you saw it was just this giant. Could have been a latrine, could have been,
right.
Who knows what kind of water is in it, but there was water. However, I did not stand and wait in front of the stage because I did not have the fortitude to do that. But we were as close as you could be in the VIP section. We were up against the VIP rail, which was off to the side, which is what it sounds like they're doing at the French one. They're doing the VIP thing. And, if you're not going to be up against the rail at the festival, then at least you could have, like, it was easy to peel away and go and come back again. Whereas people who had staked their claim, they had to be there all
and you're in
day.
it to win it then.
And tough. I know I have friends who are professionals at this and they will do it, but I am
tried to explain in a past episode. Yeah, it's a whole thing. There's art to it for sure, but it's not for me. I don't know. It's cool every once in a while if you can pull it off, but definitely not the festivals though. I feel like because then you're stuck there, like seeing Papa Roach and all those other ones.
I'm looking at like the automatic feed on the Rock Scene Send website, and it's just showing like masses and masses of people.
Yeah.
Like you have to be ready to pee your pants. Like you can't, how do you ever go to the bathroom? I don't know.
Yeah. It's like a regular Cure show is a challenge enough, Sit there. Yeah, that's, I haven't had, so was that the only semi-festival one that you've done? Have you done many others? No international ones too? Because then I started thinking about would it be better or worse to, like if I am going to fly to Europe for a show or something, I don't know if I'd want it to be a festival too, It's just like everything on top of making sure it all goes right. You're out in the middle of some fucking field, they're always on the outskirts a bit. So it's not like you can hop on the whatever, get back to where you need to be a little easier at least. I'm stuck out in some fucking field in France. It just seems like potential for disaster. I mean, it could be amazing, like maybe even cooler than being like stuck in some venue in the city or something. But I don't know. It seems like getting in and out of festivals is a pain in the ass enough when it's in America. I can't imagine trying to do that in like somewhere where I don't speak the language and I don't know what bus I'm getting on or what. But I'm sure that's just my nervous side kicking in.
We're so old.
But yeah, is there a spot if they do announce a bunch of festivals, like whether it be domestic or that would be more tempting for you? You think, is there one that you'd be like, all right, fuck it, we're doing it, Or
if they did Malachite, if they we're in Ireland again, I would do that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it depends on where I know people.
Yeah,
that will be there, and like that, that you can say, "Hey, I'm going to be here.
Right.
Do you want to either go in on a room, or do you have space, or let's all do an Airbnb?"
Yeah, definitely.
That can be good, but
especially with the crowd, with the festival vibe, it would be more fun to approach it like a group of friends and party, but like going into it like a team effort as opposed to just wandering around out there.
Yeah. I mean, France would be, if I were going to go to something, France would probably be
it would be pretty rad,
because the French fans are so great. You always hear Robert talk about the French fans, and I know some French people, and they've understood the Cure more than anybody else, yada, 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 yada. Yeah. So I feel like it would be a good atmosphere. That in Italy usually sounds like it's wherever they're going to do the loudest, whoa, is where I want to be.
Totally. Any U.S. ones then? Like Austin City Limits or Riot Fest or any of those that would be more tempting or less tempting?
If there was going to be another sort of Pasadena Daydream style where Robert curates all the bands, maybe.
True.
Or if somebody's like, I've got an extra ticket, do you want to go? We've got this all set up. Then maybe.
More tempting. Yeah. And I guess as we see these things unfold, even though who knows what the availability will be, but, I remember even in 2019, I had no desire was definitely there, but like ability or chance of going to any of them, but then I saw the set lists were pretty cool and it was fun just watching all the streams and everything. And when Austin City Limits came around, it was like the end of it all.
That one always looks like it's a good one. Like there's always a good set list there.
And I've been to Austin, so it's familiar territory. I still wasn't gonna go, but my wife surprised me with a ticket and said go, so that was awesome. But
Mexico would be cool.
Yeah.
I think Mexico City would be cool.
That would be rad. So, but I think getting, you see the set list as it develops and stuff and all the hype kicks in and you're like, fuck, I'm going. It's easy to, so especially if they start doing something out of the box or weird, you're like, holy shit, I can't miss this.
And they will. They'll do
it. Of course, even if it's just one weird new song in the mix. But
and they have songs that none of us have heard live yet. Like only the lucky few that got to London.
True. Yeah. If they're keeping some of the songs of the Lost World ones in there, that would be cool. If they keep drone and stuff like that in there would be great.
Yeah, that's a dancey one.
Yeah. It will be cool if nothing else, just to see how many of them stick around into the. Might be a little weird because it's festival set list again. So is he just gonna lead on the singles and stuff? But they're always good about keeping it spiced up. So be interesting. So hopefully we will see as developed details unravel. But since it is October, though, even though it might not feel like it here right now tonight, but it is October out there, which means CURETOBER is in full effect as we speak. So sorry, they might have missed the first 12 days, but tell us about what's going on with CURETOBER this year at Cure Arts Collab.
CURETOBER. I feel like I should have a sound effect specific to that. There, you have it. So CURETOBER is something that I think it technically started in 2021.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a few years.
I didn't have the CURETOBER. I didn't have that Instagram or anything. It was going on Twitter at the time, and it was just like waiting for the next thing to happen. And a lot of Cure fans being on Twitter at the time. And I was like, hey, how about there are a lot of artist prompt months going on in October, and they have different names like Spooktober and Inktober.
Right.
And I was like, what about CURETOBER? And a few people said, yeah, let's do it. That sounds fun. So I would just suggest a word, and then whoever felt like doing it would do it. And that was very informal. And then the next year it became more formal. It was like leading up to the tour. Right. So there was a lot of anticipation. There were lots of hints of there's something coming. And then it was a good time for Cure fans. We're all online all the time.
Yeah.
So, so
it's
I
crazy
had
how everything wakes up when the Cure does.
Yeah.
I noticed that drastically with the
members.
podcast. Yeah, everything is like, everyone's around now all of a sudden.
Yeah, suddenly like Simon's tweeting and Robert's getting angry online, and
totally.
Yeah. So there was a lot of noise, a lot of fun, and I formalized it more by creating. I think it was the following year I created the Cure Arts Collab account on Instagram, so that there was a home for it that was separate from my Cure Threads Forget About Stars account. That was just about my shop. So anyway, that's the short history. And what came of it that's really great is I wanted to make sure that everybody was feeling very welcome to try it, even if they were not professional artists. So it's for all levels, no matter what, any medium, no matter what. As long as it's original art, in some way, or an interpretation of the existing art. If you get the permission of the original photographer, that's like really the best way to do it. Because if you don't, they get pissy, and I understand why. But if you do, they're like, oh, I'll repost it because look at some artist did something with my photo. So we've had that happen, but we had a group of probably 20 people who were doing it pretty regularly in and out, but not every day. So each day of the month has a different word prompt. And in the past, it was a song name. So you can do anything for that song. And then we also did a lyric from a song last year. I asked people what their favorite lyric line was. And so I did that. And then this year, we're scaling it way back to just a word. So, for instance, this is the 12th.
Today's word
is drip or drop.
Drip or drop.
Drip or drop. Either one. Because, there's some, if you listen to some Cure songs, and I would suggest first thing that comes to mind, 10:15 Saturday night, but think about it a little bit. And all of the words that I chose are words that I know are in more than one song.
So reoccurring words.
It's like Robert Smith's favorite words, word cloud.
Right on.
Remember those? That was so like 2012 is word clouds. So and then the next day will be catch. Of course, there's the song Catch, but he sings about that word shows up, and it doesn't have to be literally catch. It could be catching or caught, or it could be different tenses, future tense, past tense, present tense.
Catching, caught, will catch.
Yes. Plurals, singular. So then it goes from there. It goes bite, mirror, kiss, cry, goodbye, empty, dance, bird mad. So it's like all 1 week right there.
Yeah, that's rad. And I like that, because like the ones when it's specific songs, it's harder probably for people to not like think of the videos and stuff in particular. You know what I mean? So you're not like necessarily connecting it to one song or the image that you have in your head from the video or the album cover and stuff. So very cool. Yeah, like Kiss could go a million different ways.
Exactly. So,
Very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, and then you have a real good layout pinned to your Instagram page there of the way to tag them and everything. But yeah, anything you want to totally underline here for people listening that haven't checked it out, like as far as the details, and make sure you and how they post it and stuff to make sure that it gets in the right flow on the internet.
Yeah. So Instagram actually just made things a little easier for me because the hardest part used to be reposting things that people posted.
Yeah.
So I would have to take a screenshot of their image and ask them like to please type up what they typed in their description, or else I would have to retype it. And I was doing this every day. It was just too much.
Yeah.
So then they did a thing where you could tag somebody as a collaborator, and that would allow them to bring it onto their account as well as a repost. Right. That was last year. This year, you can actually directly repost something. There's like a new little symbol on there.
Okay.
So you can repost something to your feed as long as the person who posted it doesn't have that option turned off on their account.
Yeah, sometimes.
So if you're going to post something, you're going to try to post it on the day that word is the word. But if you don't, it's okay. And you don't have to do it every day. You don't even have to do it every week. Just like whatever speaks to you. And then you write in the description something like you could write the song lyric or like why you decided to draw or paint or photograph what you did.
Right.
And use the hashtags that I've posted. And then also like allow that permission for someone to repost and make sure you tag Cure Arts Collab and Forget About Stars so that I see it.
Yeah.
Because I'll be paying attention and I can just hit that button and have it populate on our account. And then the other part of it, so the nice side effect of the whole project has been the community that's formed around it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little silent, quiet community. It's not because we're artists. We're not.
Yeah, no,
we're not super loud.
Out there and
yeah. We're like, oh, do you like my art? I did this drawing. Do you like it? Totally. So we like to encourage each other by following the hashtags and then seeking out other artists who have done that prompt or whatever prompt is going on and liking their page and saying like, good job, or I really like what you did here. And it just makes everybody feel good. It's a nice feel good experience.
Yeah.
And then if you want to be more involved, we have an Instagram chat that is ongoing, that's been going for this whole time, that I can personally add people to if they want to be added. But I'm not just going to add people willy-nilly unless I know that they're not willy-nilly. And then and then there is also a Discord server which has been underused, I think, because a lot of the artists that first joined CURETOBER just never used Discord before. And they're like, I'm afraid of Discord.
Yeah.
So but very welcome to like get that moving. Yeah.
Where's the link to that? The Discord, is it through? Can you find it?
I will re-add it to the account. So it will be in the description or the links in the description. And if it doesn't work, send me a DM. Just DM Curate Labs, and I will send the link to you. And if I have to do an invite, I don't know. It changes all the time.
Yeah, so we'll have that on there. We'll put the links to in this episode description as much as I can cut and paste everything. So, but I love looking at them. So it's a lot of fun to check out everyone's different interpretations and different approaches to it all. So I definitely enjoy it. So thanks for making that all a thing. It's very cool. But what do you say? Some puppet talk now. We're gonna connect every line, every string from the Cure
whole Venn diagram
to puppetry, and all the billion times that the Cure has been involved in puppetry throughout the years. So just kind of a random list like we do here. I guess all this kind of got kicked off, re-kicked off again with my little overly excited story post on Instagram the other night when I was just had to share, even with Cure people who I don't know if they care about Muppets or puppets or not, but it was a rumor that was floating around out there, but it's official now that they are doing a revival kind of anniversary Muppet show, and it's coming out next year. They didn't say when, but just 2026, I think. So. Yay! Kermit's all excited. The whole gang's coming back. Apparently, there'll be some new characters. It's going to be in the style of the old Muppet Show.
I love that.
A variety show. Time. Yeah, I think the world's ready for just more variety shows in general again.
That don't get political.
Weird. Yeah. It was like a weird format that was everywhere in the 70s, but then all of a sudden it's just like, nah, we're good. We got our fill, I guess. But, yeah, unfortunately, when I initially got excited, I thought it was a green light full season Muppet show, but it is just a anniversary, 50th anniversary of the Muppet Show kind of special that's coming out.
One time.
Yeah, but then people are saying they call it a backdoor pilot or something, where it's the idea that if it gets enough attention, then that'll be what they green light a whole season of this style. But, yeah, and Sabrina Carpenter is going to be the confirmed first guest for this, which, cool, I guess. Yeah, that should be fun, So, yeah.
We'll get the young ones watching.
Yeah, so better that, I'm and kind of connecting that to Cureness in the sense of how, just the last time you were on, we did our Cure Wheel topic and discussed how great would it be, just the daydream of Robert on the old Muppet Show. I still, have to admit, I waste so many hours pretty much very frequently thinking about how cool it would have been just to have one episode. With Robert just hanging out, and then even in the episode, he wouldn't even be in all the sketches, so you just have him, all the crew reenacting songs and doing Cure-related things, even if they overly did the goth angle too much, that would be funny, you really could.
It so has to happen.
I was excited that the chance, if they do a full series again, I don't think with them aiming for Sabrina Carpenter and like a future, he's probably on the top of the list of the people that need to lock down.
If he does a little duet with somebody.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Get Olivia in there. He could pop in or something. At least for a couple sketches. So the hope is still alive. That's what got me all excited.
Little cameo. They love cameos. The traditional Muppet stuff always would have these cameos where somebody would just be like, pushing a broom, in the movies especially.
Totally, yeah.
You could just have him like bop on by with his hair and like the googly eyes on it. You know?
And I think he would get along with the Muppets wonderfully. He's just so wonderfully Muppet accessible. But I guess, I don't know. I've never really heard any official take on the Muppets from him, I don't think. I mean, it's a weird, because it was, I don't know, I guess by that time they had probably moved. Yeah, I guess they're in the early 80s and stuff. They had kind of moved on more to the movies. So he probably wasn't talking them up too much because he was keeping his cool rep then. Early Cure, would be fucking around with the Muppets.
At the time. Couldn't have be doing, doesn't matter if we all die on Muppet Show.
We would love it, but
we would.
But definitely by 87, I could see him getting in, doing some Why Can't I Be You with the Muppets and such.
And he also has done cameos on like little comedy shows in England too.
I think that's what makes it seem more possible in my brain when he gets that kind of bad acting Robert, but he's going along with it somehow. You caught him on a good day and he's like giddy and having fun with it. Like that's the Robert I want on the Muppet Show. So, because it was always weird on the old Muppet Show too, of how like some actors or singers you would think would be perfect, but they would just not, like, it just wouldn't be good sketches, or you could tell they just weren't like into it, and then it would always be like the weirder ones where you're like, holy shit, that dude's like just crushing it. Like, sometimes they'd be a little too into it, or something, but it's hard to say.
Alice Cooper. He had one of the best episodes.
That was a good one.
So good.
So the new Muppet Show, the last bit on that, it is put together through Seth Rogen's production company. I don't think that means he's going to be necessarily involved. He might make himself a guest or something, I guess, eventually. But cool that they're doing that, like him or not, That's cool that his team's putting that together, and at least it's got some some funny people involved, or they probably really want to put their heart into it. At least, you know, they're the right age bracket and everything too, where it's not just.
He looks like a Muppet.
Yeah, he's very Muppety. I can see him yelling with all of them. Going crazy.
Was he in any of the Muppet movies, like the more recent ones? I feel like he was.
I think so. I mean, I guess the one dude that was in the newer one, he was with that crew, the Judd Apatow crew. What's his name? Jason Segel? Yeah. So he was with like, what was it? Was it Freaks and Geeks? Was he on that one too? Or
no.
It was like Undeclared in that. So those really early day ones, they did cross paths a lot. So yeah, I think they're all kind of Muppet adjacent.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, let's do the run through of Cure related puppetry and Muppets. And some of them become more of a stretch, but some of the absolutes. We'll start off with Close to Me. Definitely has some fingery puppets going on in the wardrobe there. And so I meant to rewatch closer, but are they? That seems like definitely finger puppets, right? They're almost kind of voodoo doll looking to it.
They're more like voodoo dolls. Yeah, they're not.
So
they're not. They don't have them like on their fingers so much as they're like dolls.
Yeah. So Close to Me, and the voodoo thing makes sense because in the video they're kind of bashing them around, and that is kind of what makes the wardrobe fall over, I think, because they're moving the voodoo dolls around, so they get bopping around inside there, and they knock the wardrobe off the cliff. So
and the stuff that's happening to the puppets then happens to the humans, because then they all go into the water, and the puppets are going in the water, and
pretty creepy. But yeah, of course, along those lines, then if you punch in like Cure puppet or doll on Etsy, there's no shortage of little hair dolls made into the form of Robert Smith. Great so lots of cool stuff there. You know, not necessarily puppets, but more little dolls and stuff. Lots of crochet ones and stuff like that. So yeah, Close to Me. And then I guess that was about all I had for Close to Me, other than when you merge it into the remix version. You know, if you do go with puppets as far as stretching into like human-sized puppets, which the Muppets did often, Sweetums and such, you know, you got Squid or Octopus Man, whatever he is down there and playing the sax. So he's got someone in that suit, and I believe someone's in the starfish too, right? That they're kind of stepping on. It almost seems like it's got like a squishily, kind of wiggly actual human in the rubber starfish suit.
That counts.
And definitely some dangly things in the back that are more just like fish-shaped objects hanging from strings and such. So definitely could recreate that whole video in a Muppet Show fashion very easily. I think you could do it Close to Me, the third version that has Muppets everywhere. So, what was one that you noticed right off the bat? We'll bounce back and forth even if I have it too.
Well, I mean, that is the first one that comes to mind. But I was thinking before that, if we were going chronologically, and these are just like little touches, right? But in the walk, he has his hands painted with two different people's faces, and he makes them kiss, right? Yeah. Like puppetry technically is like where you take an object and you give it a personality. Yeah. You know, or you give it the functions of something that's alive, something inanimate becomes animate. So, and the love cats, you've got taxidermy cats all over the place. Taxidermy and cats. The guys in the full size costumes.
Yeah, back to the human Sweetums style with the trumpet cat. Was it Lowell in there, right? Wasn't he? Did I imagine that?
I forget the myth.
And he scared the Rasta guy that was on the street, something like that.
I don't remember. Like I don't remember this stuff.
Yeah, that's all.
He scared the Rasta guy in the street.
Yeah, I think like they were walking around in between takes or something, and they went outside of the house, and there was just some Rasta dude hanging out. I think that was under the influence of something. Terrified some dude walking around in a giant cat costume. Awesome. So yeah, I love cats. Definitely the cats bopping around there, and And kind of along the lines of the walk, what I had my list in that era was let's go to bed with the eggs. Do they have faces on the eggs?
They had faces on the eggs, and then they smash and they break. Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't take the excuse to rewatch all these videos again to freshen up, but I'm just kind of going from memory. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he drew like little faces or something. They're definitely singing at each other, like the eggs.
Yes. I don't care if you don't. I don't care if you don't. Yep.
Egg puppets.
Let's go to bed. Egg puppets. Anything that is inanimate becoming animate. There's also in the caterpillar, they're the Chinese dragon guys outside.
True. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, because that's definitely would count in the puppetry realm. Cool.
What else you got?
Of course, then we move on into 87 with Hot, Hot, Hot as very prominent with the marionettes bouncing around.
Yes.
And again, those are kind of more full-on sculptured replicas of the band members and stuff. So definitely some closer shots of cool stuff there. And maybe a good point to put in on my list outside of the videos was the thing we had talked about in the past. There's a really cool Facebook. They're on Instagram. So like a page. And I don't know what the full story is here, but it's the Fab Puppets on Instagram. And they have a Facebook page. And I believe I tracked down the main person in charge of this. It's all like marionettes, and Marcela Moylan, I believe, definitely Spanish or South American in some form, because every page is definitely in Spanish or maybe Portuguese, or I'm not sure, but looked as far on as Spanish as far as I could tell. The little my memory remembers of Spanish class, but very cool. Definitely check out this page if you're interested in this at all, because they do a lot of other 80s ones, but pretty much any Cure fan that's on like Facebook or anything has seen this at some point, but they're outside like street performing, and they got this perfect little Robert Smith with his with his Schecter bass 6 even. It's like the gray with the black pick guard, and really fucking cool. They got the puffy white high tops and the polka dot shirt under the sweater.
Yes.
And really cool.
They do. I didn't notice their Facebook page before. I just had seen like the viral stuff happening that was being reposted on Instagram. But these people are that's amazing. It's like a Boy George. There's a whole Beatles. There's the Dave Gahan puppet. Yeah,
there's Dave Gahan. He even did like an Alison Moyet one and shit. It was like, damn, this is elaborate. So all your 80s heroes are featured in little videos, and then there's stills on the Instagram of just little, photos of all the awesome craftsmanship that went into them and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, not only is the actual movement and puppetry brilliant, but they just look fantastic. So very cool. And I'll post the links to that, of course, too, and the YouTube stuff all over this. But I was at one point, I was like, man, we need to track her down and try to talk to her. I don't know if I'll be able to talk to her, but I don't even really know how to elaborate other than being like, you're awesome.
You think you're
this
awesome?
Is so cool. This is so cool. So,
how you started doing
they hear this. So the Fab Puppets, check it out. It's very cool. And she should sell those Robert ones. Would be a hot selling Christmas item for children of all ages. So much like better than the ones in the Hot 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 video for sure.
Yeah. There's real artistry here.
So let's see, from 87 on, then we've got, if I do try to bop around in chronological order, Disintegration. We'll go with that one. Does the lullaby spider count at the end? It's more of just a giant rug with a hole cut in it. That one might be a bit of a stretch, but
furry holes.
Yeah, big furry hole.
He's like sinking into
this is the most wholesome
hole.
We've ever talked about this spider.
It's a giant fuzzy guy that he's going into, right? I don't see why that wouldn't count.
Yeah, we don't see the rest of it. Maybe the rest of it is like a giant Jim Henson spider. Like they actually built this. They just didn't crop the camera properly. Yeah, we just see the hole. That's it. Yeah. But so yeah, there's that. Let's see, pictures of you. We got another polar bear full costume, and so I think that's about it from that era. Hi, we have a little kind of voodoo doll again in some of the faraway shots when he's on the kite.
Yeah.
Which is the kind of the imagery that inspired your wonderful artwork of Robert. And you have talked about that, and I've never been able to get out of my head of the Muppet legs, Robert. Even actual shot of Robert hanging up there, he's turned into a Muppet somehow, where he has his Muppet legs hanging down. Just saw that video recently again. I was like, God damn, he does look like a little Muppet up there just flopping around. Those big old shoes.
He's floppy. He's a little floppy and like the pigeon toed feet, you know.
Yeah,
like
they're all just kind of dangling weird, like Kermit's legs when he's all like up there doing his little Kermit dance. There they are. Yeah, frog legs.
A limp puppet. Yeah.
Yeah. So that one definitely, but there is like a actual like bad faraway shot in that video when he's going up where it is a little doll of him again on the kite. So there was that in there. Yeah, I think it was meant to be like when they put like a faraway toy. Kind of ridiculous when you think about it, but at the same time I was like, oh wow, yeah, I think that is a little doll in there. Unless he just went full Muppety and I had a few too many drinks or something. Good possibility.
I haven't watched it in a while, so I haven't. Yeah, like the really far off shot. And it's kind of going fast at that point.
It's like really flopping up there. So
yeah.
And so let's see. Not too many more on top of that. I had the question of the connection through Head on the Door when they were talking about the titles, how originally it was the Head on the Pole, which is starting to get kind of
that's a puppet
beheading or a puppet. I don't know. So,
one or the other. Yeah.
Thin line between a beheading and a puppet.
I mean, I think that's what makes the Cure puppets is there's like a little like weird darkness to them all, right?
For sure.
Like you couldn't just have it be a happy little chicken and a happy little chicken. You got to have a raw egg and a raw egg.
Totally.
Completely combust.
Yeah, it's
drowning puppet.
Definitely. Here's a Cure reference puppet one. And this one, I don't know if you remember from the MTV days, Wish era. And there were contest winners. And there was a Hangin' with MTV after school episode thing where they had, I think it was 2 people on as contest winners, and they were going to get a chance to go see the Cure on the Wish tour, and they were super excited, but then they were going to surprise them because the Cure was actually there. And then Robert and Perry come out and they meet the 2 winners. I don't know why she brought the gifts, so maybe she didn't know they were there after they blew the secret or something. But the girl gives Robert a gift of a little hand puppet of a bee.
Yes.
And it's a great interaction because it's super sweet, weird, and awkward, of course. And then Robert's kind of in snobby Robert mode, but it's still funny. But he's like, well, why has it got 6 fingers? She's like, because it's a bee. And he's like, but I'm a human. I don't have 6 fingers. And this poor girl's like trying to just explain to him, well, you can wear it on either hand. And, it's a bee. It's got 6. He's like, well, what the fuck? I don't have 6 fingers. Why is it going to? He's like, thank you.
How am I going to work it?
And she's like, yeah, that didn't go the way I pictured it. But
he's just teasing, giving her a hard time.
Yeah, he's just messing with her.
Yeah.
I remember rewatching that because it was like one of those things you just run across the room and hit record on your VHS and then you put it into your Cure videos mix that you make and all that stuff. But so that was a good puppet moment and a gift. I never really remembered him saying that he loved bees that much. Maybe that was from an old like Cure news thing or something where he answered one of those questions. But I never really heard too many bee references even until later with
Wild Mood Swings.
Yeah, with the 13th there.
Maybe he was singing about the puppet in that
Yeah, them killer bees with the 6 fingers. But yeah, so maybe that's why he didn't quite jump on it. It was like, where the hell did you get that he loves bees so much? That would be the one thing.
Yeah, right.
But I think it was the guy that was the contest winner, like really early on when I started the podcast. Maybe I hadn't even started it yet, but I remember stumbling across some Facebook group or something where the dude was like, yeah, I was a winner and it was on Hanging with MTV. And it wasn't really blowing up or get much attention, but I knew exactly what he was talking about because I'd watched that clip so many times.
So many times.
I was like, yeah, that fucking dude with the bee girl and the thing. And I was all like, holy shit. I was like, all right, cool. Don't really know where it goes from there, but awesome to know that you're still out there and like the Cure.
Yeah.
So I think that's my last Cure reference. Did you have any others in mind? Videos or stage stuff? They don't really ever. They got.
I mean, they wear costumes.
Yeah.
Why can't I be you?
Yeah, I guess he kind of becomes. Yeah, it's not so much when you don't put a giant mask on over it, but
yeah. The one thing that popped up in my mind when you're talking about disintegration era is picture show. During picture. Well, and then there's never enough. There's a lot going on and never enough.
Yeah, there's probably some weird things that would qualify as a puppet there.
Yeah, there's got to be. There's got to be like the two, when I think it's Perry or somebody is like the two, or is it Simon that's the two-headed guy?
Yeah.
His head and he. But I think it's in picture show or play out, one or the other. I always get them mixed up. Where you remember the part where they have like a giant snowball and like Simon's all giggly and they bring it in and they put it on Bill's desk and put like sunglasses on it or something like, like no, and they're like imitating his voice.
Yeah, totally. That would count. Yeah, making a snowball puppet.
And then they throw it out the window.
Yeah. I remember when I rewatched that, I think it was for Play Out, Play Out, whatever, the pay-per-view one, or because it was, they took like little snippets of those things for the in-between videos for picture show too. So I always confuse them too, but I think it was for that one because when I rewatched it, I remember as an older man now watching that part, I'm kind of like, what the fuck are they doing? It was so like like when people are filming, he's just trying to be entertaining or something. You know, it's like, let's drop this giant fucking snowball and put it. Half of them are just not into it, and then him and like Perry are just like having, way too much fun with it. Yeah. You can tell the cameraman's just like, what the fuck are they doing? But all right, this is great. Okay. Keep doing it. Keep going.
It's like, what is it? It feels more like home movie than it does.
Yeah, like when like little kids with the old home movie, they're all hamming it up for the
totally. Exactly. Because I mean, it was kind of new technology even then to like have a handheld camcorder.
Yeah. Throw like 20 beers in on top of it, I'm sure. That probably helped. But,
they're like my favorite Simon moments because he's just cracking up laughing. And then they start ripping up his mail.
Yeah. They're all like ripping through his like phone book kind of, or like his address book and like like ripping pages out of it and stuff.
Yeah, just like, laughing. Just laughing.
I was like, hey, God.
It's so fun.
You dang kids. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. I have a subcategory of the idea. I'd sent you the picture, and I guess along with that post I made on the reel of some people made some AI art that it looks very convincing because, Muppet technology isn't, that hard to probably replicate.
Yeah.
But like on first glance, it looks like a legit Muppet, but they've really made. So somebody was doing that. I feel like it wasn't even
describe
necessarily
what you're talking about because you're being vague. So it's like, it looks like a Robert Smith full on true Muppet with like the full texture of like Ernie's face.
Yeah, the Jim Henson style Muppet, like, you know, Sesame Street reporter kind of humanish Muppet face, you know. But so it's like that, but in Cure form with the big hair and the red lips and black makeup. So they made like and it's funny, since saving that picture, I was fucking around with it even because it had like the app one, and I was like, create a picture that looks like a Jim Henson style Muppet with Robert Smith hair circa 1989, you know, and it gave him like the polka dot shirt and everything. So I was like, oh wow, this is pretty cool. I'm going to waste way too much time doing this now, so yeah, it's pretty cool. It was somebody that was doing him for all like 80s bands, kind of the same with the Marionettes, where they were doing, or I saw it pop up and they did like a Duran Duran one, and then like a U2 one. I just kind of knew it was coming. You know, it was like,
you're like,
real slow. It's like, you know, they're going to do it. There's like a Smiths one, and then there's like, okay, here it is. And so there was a full band one too that I'll try to dig up for this again. It was from that Top era, kind of, where they're all lined up in the professional photo there for the Top. So they all kind of look how they did for the Top promo photos. So that's kind of cool. There's an Andy one and such. So that's cool.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it's a pretty cool. Have you ever tried? You're very artsy, obviously, and crafty. Have you ever tried to make like a full on like felt Jim Henson style Muppet like that, as opposed to just any kind of style puppet?
No, I haven't tried doing that. I mean, the materials now are much more common than they were before. It's like EVA foam and the felt that they use on the, like, actually, I can't say I haven't tried. I just never succeeded.
Yeah.
Because you need to know how to sew. Like, they all have seams on them.
Yeah,
like
and that's like
you have to know how to do seams.
And that was kind of the whole defining thing with him. I forget all the details now, but in his biography, he kind of invented they called it like the Henson stitch or something. It was the first one that kind of wrapped it around the skull kind of thing. Yeah, and it's like that down the middle there that gives it a lot more like a real texture and stuff. Yeah, because I got real close to wanting to get in. That's why I made a bunch of like sock puppet ones and things that were a little more. But yeah, I never quite went into that. That I had the books with all that. Yeah, there they are. So there's this cool
I've been
little
doing like paper bag puppets with the kids that I'm teaching art, and this was one of my favorite ones. Like, as long as you put big white eyes, then it's cute. It's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
I was like, oh, if we were gonna do. Like, I got into improv, right? We were talking about this before. And so everything that I do when I'm working with kids is all improv, because you never know what they're going to do. Yeah. And so I'll have to just come up with like, I got a challenge for you. And so I was a few minutes before we got on, because I only get good ideas right before something's going to happen, like somebody's birthday. I think of the best birthday present before I show up to their party. Yeah. But I was thinking, wouldn't it be funny if, like, okay, if we said, all right, here are the materials, you need to get them from your house right now, like a sock of any color, and I don't know, like a couple of pins and some pipe cleaners and construction paper. Okay, ready, go. Make a Cure puppet.
That would be rad.
It was just like,
because it's a lot of cool avenues for the ones, you know, like this dude is like just a sock, but I put like little pieces of cardboard in the mouth, you know, like on the other side to keep it kind of stiff, but he still gets kind of, like you said, you just put the googly eyes on anything, and it definitely helps you.
Yes, it does.
Put something preferably floppy on the top of it.
Yes,
you can kind of do something with it. But
it's very good.
I'm so bad at these things. I love doing like artsy craftsy shit, but I'm so bad at it. Like when I try to sew anything for Halloween and stuff, I'm always like sewing my own pant leg too. I mean, just like real bad, you know, like damn it. And tried to make heads
so
of these
well
jackets.
with your Halloween costumes.
Thank you. I try, you know, but sometimes
you're really dedicated.
My heart is always there, but I can never quite pull it off. And 3 inches of super glue stuck to my fingers for like a week. So, never could quite pull it off, but I always wanted that dream of being able to make like full on Jim Henson style with the foam and the head and everything. Cause definitely would be first puppet would look a lot like Robert Smith, I think.
Yeah.
You just kind of have to go there with different hairs, all the different phases of Robert you could do. It'd be very cool.
So many phases, like different size shoes, different size hair. Yeah. You could even have like mix and match hair that you can Velcro on and Velcro off, and like add extra height. And then like you have the Cure in orange when he has no hair. You know, you start with that one as your base. For the hair, and then just add on extra hair. And then it comes back down again. Yeah, because
they have those. I've got one of those too. For a while, they did through FAO shorts there, where you could do they're called Muppet Whatnots, where you could build your own. So it was like an actual solid puppet, and that was my main one when I did little videos and stuff. It was this guy Mung that I've got, and he's a little blue dude with pink floppy hair, and I did like videos. They're all on YouTube if you want to see like it's called Mung on the Arts. And
oh my gosh.
So I used to do like reviews. I got real into it like 2 years before Headset was born, and then like I was all excited that I'm like, I have this kid, I'm gonna just make him do puppets with me all the time, and then he kind of became my puppet instead of where we just like, I was like, I can't do this shit.
I can't you totally do have a Mung on the Arts. Freaking 26 videos.
Yeah, so you do like album reviews. I don't know if they hold up. I haven't watched them. But so he was kind of supposed to be a cross between Andy Rooney and like, I don't know, Morrissey or something. But he's like this like bossy art critic is what he's supposed to be, I guess. But then somewhere when Henson did get into it with me, and it kind of took off during COVID too, when he was stuck at home with me, and we did Henson and Mung was a side project show. So we would, because he got all into those like Wild Kratts kind of shows where it was like, all right, kids, we're going to do this. So he would always act like he knew what he was talking about everything, but he was only like, 5 or something at the time. So at that age where he's like expert in everything. He's like, this is a rock from, half the stuff he's saying is like completely wrong. So it's like him and Mung just going back. So those are fun, but when he gets into video editing, that stuff is just a little beyond podcasting even. I'm like, this just takes way too much time and effort, especially when I'm laying on the ground with 3 different puppets up in the air and my back's killing me.
Oh my God. Like, how did they do that? The Muppeteers, I really, if I could have done anything right out of high school and into college, it would have been to be a Muppeteer. Like that was all I ever wanted.
It is kind of like that high fidelity dream job thing. Right?
Yeah.
Where you write the shit that doesn't really, it's not that possible or make that much sense either. But I'm like, yes, Jim Henson era Muppeteer, that would be like so cool. And just Eddie kind of that. I really got into it, but it was like physically just hurt, like I would like just be,
and they would
laying
be
there
like looking at a TV monitor over here while they were doing the puppets up here, with a whole bunch of them under a stage at the
which
same
makes
time.
it a lot easier, but I never got that far where I could get a little monitor, so I was always doing them blind in those videos where I would just set up a camera and hope I'm in the shot, so a lot of times I'd have to kind of crop the edit video out and stuff, but I mean, now it'd be a lot easier because I didn't have a laptop then. With this kind of camera, you could totally do it a lot bit easier than what the hell I was doing. But
bring it back.
Yeah, once he goes off to college, I'll restart my puppeting career or something. But
oh my God,
Holy Hour is gonna turn into an all puppet show where we just
not the all Cure hour, the all puppet Cure hour.
It'll just be Mung interviewing everybody or talking.
Oh my God. I want that to happen.
His voice gets pretty annoying. It's like, hello, I'm Mung, blah, blah, blah. I'd get like hoarse and stuff after doing it, So.
I'm seeing it. I'm looking at it on my phone, like sitting on my. And I just
shouldn't have let that cat out of the bag. But
it's out.
It's like, oh my God, this dude's crazier than I thought.
More awesome than I thought. Well, this kind of like segues back to one story that I haven't like told before with my cure experiences that like it kind of is connected. And that
Mm.
was in 1997, and when the Cure played Radio City Music Hall. And at the time, I managed to convince, because I had been chatting with Roger on like the chat room stuff
Mm-hmm.
and he had promised backstage passes, like, at some point, and it didn't come to fruition. But that was like the night there's like some infamous story about the Cure playing pool in a New York bar before they played Radio City.
Right.
And like got totally trashed. Okay. While they were playing pool with fans. And there's all kinds of pictures. Arusha has a
Yeah.
bunch of material on that. Right. So they had played two consecutive shows. And I was there the first night. The second night was the last night of the tour. So I had worked at a toy store at the time called Pun's Toys in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania. And this was when Beanie Babies were brand new.
Right.
And Beanie Babies were a fantastic thing because they cost less than $5, and you could like tie them to the top of a present and they would just look so cute if you tied them on top, right? And I was obsessed with penguins and the idea that Robert Smith is actually part penguin because of his like awkward waddle steps and
Right.
his big booty feet and like, sometimes black and white outfits and general clumsiness. And I had pen pals at the time, and I would wax on about this on and on and on about Robert Smith being a penguin. And so when I thought there might be a chance that I might possibly like rub elbows with him,
Right.
which was this after show, I brought with me for each one of them, like I got really, really, really into it. Like, just in case I meet any of them, I'm going to have something, right?
Yeah.
So for Robert, I had a little stack of presents, and I included the book, and they were just paperback books, but I included The Velveteen Rabbit, because that was like a book that just made me cry.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else I put with his. There could have been like a sticker book. I don't know, whatever I found at the toy store that I thought he might like.
Yeah.
In my little 21-year-old brain. And then on top I tied a Beanie Baby penguin, which was the cutest of all the Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
Like if you just plopped it on top, it would just spread its legs and like just
Awesome.
so cute. So I tied that on top, and I did a little sketch of this in my one pen pal letter. And so my boyfriend at the time / bandmate and I managed to get after show passes, and they're like stickers that you put on yourself. And there were different levels of this where you could you're the after show that doesn't get much access, and they may or may not choose to come and see you in the room that they designate. Okay. And then there's people who are like truly backstage.
Yeah.
So it had, and I still have the sticker. It had after show AS written on it. And I had bugged the one guy when I saw him. I was like, Roger, promise me. And he's like, okay, here you go. Here you go.
Please.
And then I'm like, he must have heard that 1,000 times. Yeah. Roger, promise me. Like, Roger, you asked for it. So we go and we're like led into this room, and the room has like a small cooler of beer or something on a table. And they say, okay, fans that have the passes, you come in here and you wait here. They may or may not come to see you. And we're standing there waiting, and Bill, as in Chris Parry, like saunters in.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
the Chris Parry,
right? Right. But like from watching all the stuff like that they've done, they call him Bill, and that's just the first thing. And he was like, huh, like as if, do I know you?
Yeah.
And I started chatting with him, and I was just like, and I was in a band at the time, and we played a lot of Cure stuff, right?
Yeah.
So feel free to edit all this out if you want to. But so we were playing. So I told him that I was in a band and that we were really fucking good, and that we were going to be the next, I don't know, Cocteau Twins or something. I don't know, whatever I said. And he was like, "Oh, really? Oh, well, I'll introduce you to Jonathan, my A&R guy." I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "What do you do? Do you sing? Do you play?" "No, I play, but we're looking for a vocalist." And he's like, "All right, I'll introduce you to Jonathan." I still have this guy's business card. And so Jonathan was like the New York liaison to Fiction.
Wow.
And so I started talking with him, and this was still like in that room that was really not going to be accessed by the Cure if they didn't feel like it.
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, well, you know what? Call me when you have a vocalist." I'm like, "But Chris told me you would find us a vocalist."
Yeah,
you know, like,
it's your job.
Yeah, we're really good. And I guess at the time I was young and cute and enough that like I passed, right? But if it had been anybody else in the band, they would have been like, "Yeah, whatever, dude, shut up." So he did say to send me a tape.
Yeah.
Right. And so we did. We recorded a tape, but we still didn't have a vocalist. But then something happened where they're like, "All right, well, nobody's coming down, you know, time to go." And boyfriend and I linger a little bit. He's like, "Just wait a second, see what happens." And as like everybody else filters out, there's like multiple floors and there's an elevator, and we go up a floor. We're like, "Let's see what's on the next floor." Because the security guy, like Bruno and Brian, were just gone. Nice. So we go up a floor, and as it goes ding, we open it up, and they're shuffling Robert onto the elevator that we're coming off of. I'm like, "Ah!" And I had the thing. I had the present with the Robert with the penguin on top of it. Totally. And they're like, "Out of the way, out of the way." We're like, "Okay, sorry." So you know, we're forced off the elevator. He comes waddling on. He's drunk. You know, he had played pool. This was a night where he had scaled the side of the stage, and like it was scary, like what he was doing during Why Can't I Be You? There's legendary. So I was like, Robert, oh my God, like everybody says. And I guess it was Bruno that was with him and was like, "No, we got to get him home. We got to get him to bed." And I was like, "Oh, here, will you just take this?" And he took it from me. And so like, I still have this vision in my head, and I sketched it, and it's like him. And imagine this is Beanie Baby Bird, right? And he's holding the little book with the Beanie Baby on top of it. And he's like, "Thank you."
Oh, that's perfect.
My life is complete.
Totally. That's amazing.
And I was like, "But read the card. Yeah. And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Where it went from there, who knows? But you don't have to worry about that. It made it into his hands.
Probably ended up in Eden's toy box or something.
Right. Who knows? But maybe he has it on his dresser still to this day. Who knows?
You never know. You never know. But, and then there was this circle back thing that happened during 2022. One of my Cure Arts artist friends went to a show, and actually like he had read about my penguin encounter, and he threw a penguin to Robert when they were on stage in 2022. It was France, I forget. And Robert stops and he picks it up and he's like, "There's nothing fucking more than I like than a penguin with a note attached to it."
Whoa.
And I was like,
this reminds me of my favorite gift. Holy shit. That is great.
Like, it stuck with him all these years. Yeah. And I gave him that penguin.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Like, I already got one of these.
Yeah, I've got one, but it was a really good memory.
It's the best day of my life.
Cue.
Oh man, that is awesome. Very cool. Now everyone that's listening out there is going to be bringing penguins to every show. It's like, what's these fucking penguins everywhere?
Oh, God.
Awesome.
Oh, it makes me happy just thinking about it.
Yeah, that's a great interaction. It really could, it's perfect. Him saying thank you to you. I think that's just like one of those, like, your brain and heart explode at the same kind of. You're like, what? Yeah. It's like, me, little old me. Me? Thank you.
And I probably like blathered on, like, there was a card that I probably like wrote on all blank parts of the card, like,
arrows going around to the back.
Yeah, like sketches of penguins, and who
He's
knows?
All drunk out of his mind trying to read it, turning it upside down and sideways. That's great. I love it. Well, that's a wonderful story. Thank you. I think we'll end on that. There's no topping that.
There's really no topping that. Yeah.
So thanks for sharing and talking puppets with us and talking Cure puppets. We did it. We connected Cure to puppetry somehow. So if anybody out there, somehow we missed something that you would qualify as puppetry in a Cure video or encounter or on stage, definitely let us know. And we'll add it to the list. And we'll keep keeping our fingers crossed for that Muppet Show revival. Maybe if enough people start, as soon as they get any kind of like Instagram official page going, we'll just flood them with Robert Smith requests.
I happen to know, well, not very well, but I happen to have crossed paths with and live very close by to the brother of the puppeteer who does Pepe the Prawn.
Oh shit! Awesome. There you go. We'll start leaving some.
The Beretta brothers. They did a whole thing during the pandemic. Bill? Bill is the one who does the puppet. And so his brother is an illustrator. Okay. And I ran into him because he was working on a book about Andrew Wyeth at the Wyeth Museum. And it should be out by now.
And in fact, it is out. It came out October 7th. So you can order The Apprenticeship of Andrew Wyeth, Painting of Family Legacy by Gene Beretta, anywhere that you pick up your books or order books from. And it tells the story of the world famous painter Andrew Wyeth and traces his evolution as an artist from a young little boy to a 91-year-old man. Go check it out.
But yeah. So maybe I can figure out a way.
Yeah, we got a lead. That's good. If Pepe can't do it, then
Pepe the Prawn.
He's gonna be the
biggest Cure fan ever.
That makes it all happen.
Oh my God.
Awesome. I like where this is headed. Cool. All right. Well, always great catching up with you too, Kate. And hopefully have you back on again soon with all kinds of crazy new Cure topics like new albums and tours and all kinds of stuff. I'm sure it's right around the corner as always.
It's all around every corner all the time. Yes.
Awesome.
I love talking to you, Gavin. It's always a big mood booster. And my husband, Brian, he's like, whatever time you go to bed, it's okay. Just keep going as long as you need to.
You want to talk about puppets all night?
We'll talk about puppets and The Cure. Then I know you will be in a good mood and everything will be fine.
Well, likewise, yes. I was walking around my little sock puppet. Casey's like, "You're gonna have fun tonight. Here you go."
Yeah.
Cool. Well, go put on some old Muppet shows and some Cure tunes out there, good people, and we'll catch up with you soon. Thanks again, Kate. Thanks you guys for listening. And talk hard.
That was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good,
It could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey, boo!
Boo!
All right, no need for all that, fellas. Let's just calm down here. But thank you guys for listening, and thank you so much, Kate, for joining me in Puppet Talk and Cure Puppet Talk. And since I last spoke with Kate, we do have many updates to the Cure's 2026 festival lineup. There's been a whole bunch more shows added since we last spoke, and her wish even came true. They announced a more select Cure-ish festivals shows, and they happen to be in Ireland and a couple in the straight up UK. Two of those are already sold out. I guess I could run through the list real quick, but you guys have seen it by now. You are on top of this shit. If you've listened to this much Cure talk already, you already know. But the quick run through is looking like all of June is pretty much filled up now with Spain, Austria, the Isle of Wight Festival, and then 2 dates in Ireland, Belfast and Dublin. I believe those are still available as of, let's see, what is it, Wednesday, October 8th. And then they're headed off to Poland, was a later one that was added for the Opener Festival in July. So July, we have the second half of July still available for more mysteries to unfold. So we got July 3rd in Poland, July 5th in Belgium was a more recent one that just got announced. And July 10 and 11, they're going to be in Berlin, Germany. So 2 Berlin shows, and it sounds like those are like the Ireland ones where they're just going to have Twilight Sad and Just Mustard, I think it was, are opening, but it's just more of a straight up Cure show, I think. So those will be good ones to hit up if you're not feeling the full on festival vibe. Then we get into August, and we got the Norway show, and we got 2 more UK shows. We got August 21st, Manchester, England, and August 23rd in Edinburgh, Scotland. So those are sold out though already. So unless you want to do some StubHub and scalping, who knows, or have a good friend, you might be shit out of luck there. But so yeah, 2 straight up ones there, and then the final show now being the Paris, France one on August 30th. So still some room, like I said, at the end of July for a few more dates to be announced. Don't think they'll zip over to the US for like 2 weeks over in there. That'd be a little hectic, but they could work in still Austin City Limits or a few of those bigger festivals, or do like a Pasadena thing somewhere in there. But right now it's looking June through August, so that's not really leaving too much on top of summer festivals. Creditable source, I forget where, if it was Roger or just on one of the sites, they said do keep an eye out for Wales. Might be getting some kind of announcement at some point. So all right, so that's about all the scoop I got, but you probably are more up to date with that than me at this point. So we'll just wrap up with a big old thanks to our Patreon crew. As always, we would love to have you support the show and be part of our team over there. So go on over to patreon.com/The Holy Hour Podcast. We got all kinds of goodies waiting for you, and your support would be greatly appreciated. Just like Craig, Donna, Jeff Hilton, Jeff Cortland Jones, Sue, John, Allison, Dion, Namicio, Matt Ford, Tom Burns, Letty, John Roberts, Tony, Ben, Matt Fisher, Danny, Coulter, Tom Johnson, Francisco, Arno, Chip, Amber, Nicholas, Shirley, Jason Hall, Steve, Mara, Caroline, Brian, Sean, Colin, and Jennifer. And of course, Kate, who we just spoke with, who runs CureThreads.com, has tons of original Cure-inspired designs over there on a wide range of products. So go check out CureThreads.com. And of course, as we mentioned, Cure Arts Collab on Instagram, where CureTober is in full effect. So go check it out. They've already posted a bunch for the month of October each day. They're beautiful. You'll want to check out wonderful original Cure art every day from a wide audience around the world of Cure fans. So go check out CureTober and Cure Arts Collab, and you can see the pinned post if you want to get in on that. Scott Kruger is over at the Sarlacc Digest. That's an all Star Wars podcast. You can check out their live show every Wednesday evening, 8 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube and Facebook, with replays everywhere that you stream podcasts. Perfect for any level Star Wars fan. Always intelligent and engaging conversation about the beloved Star Wars franchise over there. So go get in on the action. David runs the Obsessive Geek at Etsy shop over there. You can get cool products, including 3D printed recreations of Cure album covers that you could hang on your walls and look like a badass and show off to all your Cure loving friends. He also has Boys Don't Cry, keychains, Fascination Street signs, tons of cool, high quality, affordable, cool stuff over there. So The Obsessive Geek on Etsy. Dana is a freelance animation, illustration, and motion graphics designer. You can currently contact her about projects or commissions and check out her work at graphics.tv. That's graphics with an X.tv. And Tanya would like to spread awareness of 988lifeline.org, suicide and crisis hotline with over 200 crisis call centers located all over the U.S. and available 24/7, offering free and confidential support for people in distress with numerous prevention and crisis resources. If you or anyone you know is in need of help, please contact 988lifeline.org. They're there to help. Lisa recommends you visit Dickens. It's the coolest venue in Calgary, Canada. You can check out the full scoop of all their upcoming events at dickensyyc.com. And don't forget to check out Chaz's other podcast. It's now called James Dobson's Bastard Kids. It's a new name, but same great show. Each week, he and Chrissy take on the evangelical church with their wonderfully sinful but accurately researched topics. New episodes drop weekly everywhere that you get your podcast. And other fun shout-outs include that children's book we were talking about by Gene Beretta, and that's called The Apprenticeship of Andrew Wyeth, and you can get it at geneberetta.com. And Morrissey and Wine podcast. Be sure to check that out if you're a Smiths or Morrissey fan. Has a wonderful new episode up. Hoping to talk to those guys soon. And the new Dad album is awesome. It's called Alter. Super rad. Go check it out. Plus that new Johnny Marr live album, speaking of the Smiths, is pretty damn good. Look Out Live, it's called. So go check that out. Otherwise, I'll let you go. Go make yourself a Robert Smith puppet. And if you're trying to get tickets, hopefully you are successful and you have a European vacation already in the books for 2026. Seems like a great plan. All right. See you guys 2 weeks. Adios and talk hard.